Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Farijah Ismail and I am PhD candidate majoring physical education at University Malaysia Sabah. Today, I am going to share with you about my research on obesity's influence on psychosocial well-being of primary school students in Kota Kinabalu. To move even further with my presentation, I would like to draw your attention to the brief outline what am I going to present. First, I will discuss the background of the study. Second, problem statement. Third, research question. Fourth, methodology. Fifth, finding. And last but not least, I will draw a little bit of conclusion. Let's start with the background of the study. According to WHO 2018, studies shows that over 350 million children and adolescents aged 5 to 19 years old were obese or overweight in 2016. According to the ONIS 2010, Malaysia is a developing ASEAN country that experiencing a rapidly rising prevalence of childhood obesity consistent with international trends. WHO 2018 states obese children experience breathing difficulties, increased risk of fractures, hypertension, early markers of cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, and psychological effects. National Health and Morbidity Survey 2019 found that 424,000 children were found to have mental health problems in Malaysia. 9.5% of that number are aged 10 to 15 years old. The study also showed that 42% were related to peer problems. AMIS and Leadbeater's 2017 studies that overweight or obese children are more likely to experience interpersonal problems, while NIHOF 2019 study found that overweight or obese children tend to have fewer friends than normal weight children. Children in Sabah who suffer from anxiety have the highest percentage in Malaysia at 46%, while the number of children affected by stress and depression in Sabah rank second in Malaysia, 12.3% and 21.9% respectively. This statistic should not be taken lightly. There is a strong correlation between the frequency of a person being a victim of bullying and obesity and overweight issues. Pengpit and Petzer 2019. According to the Juvenile et al. 2020, obese and overweight children and adolescents are at a high risk for psychosocial effects, including low quality of life and high embarrassment. Gam et al. 2020 states that students with BMIs over the usual range are frequently subjected to body shaming. Two research questions stated in this study. Number one, what psychological consequences do children with weight issues or obesity face? Second, how does this obesity problem impact the quality of life of obese children? Methodology. I choose qualitative study with a phenomenology approach as my research design. For sampling, I use purposive sampling of obese children under 12 years old. I use five primary school students, either male or female, as the study sample. Observations, interviews, and documentation were used to collect data from the study site. First, get permission from KPN, JPN, and the headmasters and parents. Second, identify the students to be studied. Third, gain access and build rapport with the participants. Fourth, the researcher went out into the field. Fifth, analyze the data. And finally, write research report. At the beginning of the data collection process, the data was compiled and translated in the form of transcripts. Then, the transcripts are analyzed to form the code. The codes will then be grouped into appropriate categories according to the similarity of the characteristic. The following step is to group the categories into the thematic clusters based on the similarity characteristic of the newly formed categories. The themes that emerge are guided by themes that emerge from previous studies. The final process is reporting based on the themes that arise to answer the research questions. Overall, the data analysis procedure in this study is guided by the State 2010 procedure as in the flowchart. Three themes that emerge in this study. Theme number 1 is social health. Emerging codes indicate that these obese children suffer from bullying, teasing, stigma, marginalization, physical assault, strain, relation with siblings. Theme number 2 is mental health. These obese children, according to emerging codes, suffer from negative body image, low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, and stress. Theme 3 is medical consequences, which is fatigue, unfit physically, asthma, and skin condition. In conclusion, this study found that obesity brings an enormous number of psychosocial problems with regard to the personal and social lives of children. This information could be used in development of school-based training program aimed at increasing awareness among staff on the complexity of obesity, including teasing and impaired psychological well-being. And finally, these findings add the growing body of research pointing to harmful effects of weight-related stigma, even at an early age. Thank you so much, everyone, for lending me your ears. See you in the next conference. Thank you.